The long-awaited finale, it's game number 64 of USL eCup Rocket League Edition, brought to you by HyperX. A month-long tournament, a road leading all the way to this. FC Tucson and Union Omaha, both sides from USL League One, meeting in the final. With Devin Kermike Watts on hand. Devin, best of 7. Let's get it on.
Mike, I don't want to go to 5. I don't want to go to 6. I want to go to 7. Look at everybody that made it to the knockout round. Look at everybody that was in this actual tournament. But the key thing for me is we're down to 2. And oh, by the way, shocking. Group winners. FC Tucson, Union Omaha.
FC Tucson's road to the final began in the group stage. Group 7 champions. Devin, we've been talking about, can they get to 200 goals? Can they get to 200 goal difference? All that's still within reach.
It was not polite. It was not kind. It was not positive. In the sense that Trent Whelan, this entire tournament, from the blow of the first whistle, has taken every single person hostage and made him his prisoner. Double-digit goal difference, putting up 1 million goals. He's done it all. But at some point in time, he had to find somebody else that could stand on the other side and say, hey, you know what? I can do that too. Enter Union Omaha. Started off with Jake Mickelson. Now we've got Wesley Mims. And oh, by the way, the savior has showed himself quite appropriately, to the point where you start to question, does the collegiate national champion actually have the advantage? I don't know, Mike. Union Omaha's right there.
The Omaha Foundation, the partner for Wesley Mims, the Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona for Trent Whelan. Those numbers mighty similar. Will they play out that way in the final? There can only be one. We crown a champion in this best of 7. Kickoff when we come back. Game 1 of the USL eCup Rocket League Edition, brought to you by HyperX. Final, FC Tucson and Union Omaha. With Devin Kermike Watts on hand, we've waited a month for this moment. Opening kickoff. We are underway. Best of 7 series. How about Tucson? Mims rises up, snatches that out of the air. Devin, this is gotta be the final we were all hoping for. They feel as evenly matched as anyone has been, in particular in Tucson's experience. But Tucson gets the opening goal anyways. Lobs it from distance, 22 seconds in.
Things changing up a little bit here, Mike. Remember, in the semifinals, Trent Whelan took a back seat to his opposition. Said, you know what? I'm going to give them a little bit of hope. Put a goal out on a string and then slowly started to wheel him in. Instead, he's getting it going early on.
Wesley Mims' first opportunity offensively ends quite early. Smashes it back across the face of goal and up the wall. Whelan, a collegiate Rocket League champion at the University of Arizona. Mims denied by Whelan. Whelan smacks it wide. He's got a long way to go. For Mims, surely it must be an equalizer. It is. Omaha scores and levels it.
Unrelenting pressure coming from FC Tucson, Mike. Little mistake in the middle field. Remember, this one's for all the marbles. I literally bought some in the parking lot only to find out when I walked in that's not what they were talking about. No returns, no exchanges.
Whelan backs in defensively. Mims turns this wide. Vantage West stands with the communities we serve during these unprecedented and trying times. Together, we will emerge more prosperous and connected than ever. Vantage West Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. How about this, from one end all the way to the other for Trent Wheeland?
This is a staple, Mike. You know, it's the touches that start from behind the halfway line. Quick little acceleration, all of a sudden he goes vertical, and that's where you get yourself into trouble because he can explode immediately, or he can push it up even higher and then come back lower. Either way, I have no clue how to play this game.
Mims able to get just enough to nod that wide. Wheeland! Tough angle, Tucson up 3-1.
Oh boy. Oh boy. He's working on that plus 200 goal differential. This guy knows what I'm talking about.
He's on his way. That's easy.
Yeah, the defense shout needs to be a little bit higher. Wesley, the savior, hasn't risen yet. We're waiting for him to step up to the plate.
FC Tucson defeated Tacoma in the semifinal, 11-4, 12-2. Lost game 3 in overtime, 6-5. Won game 4, 6-2. Wheeland finally back in his own end defending. Mims has this smashed away. And on the dribble and the flip. That's high, rebound off the crossbar.
Respawn.
And now trouble brewing. A tap in, the respawn too late. Planting Cargo 85, looking like a runaway in game 1.
Oh, that smell, Mike, is the cold brew. In fact, he's put the entire still into work. You gotta love the product that he puts out. A lot of caffeine, a lot of emotion, a lot of goals. And again, don't know what I'm talking about. Little help here.
Wheeland. That's wide.
Watch him work. Oh,
Rebound right down the middle. Planting Cargo 85, up by 5.
look at him. Every single touch accounted for. He goes one way, you come back the other. You bob, you weave, you duck, you dive, you ditch, all that stuff. You know, there's D's, there's B's. The alphabet and numbers, Mike, has never really been a scheme that I've gotten into personally.
Okie dokie. Mims. If you're going to clear, Devin, you have to be a little more aggressive in doing so. Mims has left a couple in a dangerous spot.
Front row.
Wheeland up high. Careening into the goal. The counter has been the only avenue for Mims to score thus far. Wheeland delivers, Mims the save.
Michael. How about the save, Michael? Understood exactly where he needed to be. Flip reset, over the boost, gets himself back, and that's what you have to do against Wheeland. He's going to continue to push 100 miles an hour. You just have to go one-on-one every now and then to get above that threshold.
Here comes Wheeland. Brought it all the way down and then knocks it wide. Mims sprinting back. He's the only one with boost at the beginning. And it's knocked into the goal by Wheeland. A last-ditch effort to clear it away. Still a tall mountain here for Union Omaha, but they're within 4.
The big thing, Mike, is you can't be predictable. What does that mean? Don't predict.
The Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona has seen demand for food double since the coronavirus has spread. The Community Food Bank now serving people with drive-through food distribution so as to minimize contact and follow the advice of health experts. Do your part for the community and consider getting involved with the Community Food Bank, Southern Arizona, proud partner of FC Tucson. Pretty good goal, too.
Yeah, Trent Wheeland's been social distancing the entire tournament. He can score from anywhere, does whatever he wants, all by himself, I might add.
give Wheeland his 8th in game 1. And maybe Mims not such a good match after all.
Mike, what is the ruling in the record book of forfeiting the first game and then they give you all 3 conversely and you win it all? Well, that wouldn't matter because you play 7, so again, the math's off. My bad. I'll just sit here and look pretty without the camera on me.
Yeah. The logic just doesn't check out. Wheeland rounding Mims!
Put the Savior back to bed. Whether he's gotten up is a whole other story, but look at this. Right up over the top. And this is what I'm talking about, Mike, the predictability of it all. You've seen the counter from Mims, but when you have to sit back and understand that there are going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 25, 30, 40 pushes at you, you got to find a way to counterpunch it. And we have not seen that from Mims. Trent Wheeland just keeps bringing it. And I'll tell you what, 31 seconds to go up 10-2. Whee! Game 1.
By the way, folks, we've got a really special presentation between games. Dignitas, one of the best esports teams in the world. They'll be the first to tell you they are the best. Their coach, John Willis, and Jos van Meurs, their captain, will join the broadcast. Kelsey Steele will host. Trent Wheeland and Wesley Mims be involved in a Q&A. We're really excited for that. So Violent Panda and Verge, gamer tag for those, joining Planting, Cargo 85, and Mims here at the break. Final seconds, ball still in the air. Just doesn't get over the line. It would have been academic. FC Tucson dominant in game 1. We hear from the folks at Dignitas, along with the captains and Kelsey Steele after this.
Vantage West Credit Union proudly stands with the communities we serve during these unprecedented and trying times. It's in these moments where strong communities thrive by working together. We will emerge more connected and more prosperous than ever before.
Times are uncertain, and many people's way of life has come to a standstill. At Chapman Volkswagen of Tucson, we understand. That's why we want to lend a helping hand with the community-driven promise. If you find yourself between jobs, flexible payment options may be available for current and new VW owners. If you're in need of a new vehicle, you can get 180 days deferment on payments. That's 6 months before your first payment will be due. We're also offering 0% APR for 72 months on most new VW models. And best of all, with our new online shopping option, you won't even have to leave the comfort and safety of your own home. Visit us at Chapman Volkswagen of Tucson or online at TucsonVW.com.
Thanks for joining us for the USL eCup Rocket League final. USL's Kelsey Steele here, joined by our 2 eCup finalists, Wesley Mims and Trent Wheeland, and of course, 2 members of the #1 esports team in the world, Dignitas. I want to start over with our finalists. So Wesley, Trent, how did you guys first hear about Rocket League, and when did you actually start playing the game?
Personally, I started playing like 4.5 years ago on Xbox. Found out about it from watching Twitch streams. Kronovi was like the first player who was like really big and started watching competitive. I personally kind of got into the competitive scene a little bit, and from there just played a lot, got into the collegiate scene, which was CRL, won a national championship there, and then moved on and just been kind of playing casually since, and found out about FC Tucson. They came to me, and from there was history.
I started playing when it came out, when it was free on PlayStation. Me and my brother were like at the beach and we downloaded it. And when it was like raining outside, we just started playing. So we played against like bots and like the computer and stuff. And then I took like a long break while my brother kept playing. And then after like a year or two, I got back into it. I've been playing ever since.
And I kind of want to submit this one to the group here. I'm really curious because we kind of have all different levels. So on average, how often do each of you all play Rocket League? Are we talking about daily, weekly? You know, what does that look like for you guys?
So me personally, we play every day. We scrim, which is practice, every evening for like 2 hours, and on top of that, we watch our replay analysts back, and it's like 1 hour every evening, and we try to just improve in those, and we try to look back on what we did wrong and what we did good, and use those in our next day's practice. But yeah, every day it's about 3 hours in general with the team, and then like on the side you can play 5 hours each day if you want. But yeah, it's personal. Some people play 2 hours extra on top of it. Some people play all day. That's what we have to choose ourselves.
Wesley, you're probably the most casual player, I think, in this group.
Yeah.
How often are you picking up the controls?
Well, like during most of the school year, I really don't get to play that much, like maybe once a week. But during like our online classes now, our classes don't last as long, and so after school, I'll get to like hop on for like an hour or two, like a few days a week.
That practice has kind of paid off. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I really enjoy it. It's nice to like have some more free time.
Absolutely. I can only imagine. I'm curious, Verge, when it comes to the kind of level that you guys are playing on, how do you deal with the nerves when playing these tough games and tournaments like the RLCS?
I don't get as much nerves, I'd imagine, as the players. I feel like the players might have more nerves than me, but sometimes it's really, really difficult to just sit and watch. Because at that point on game day, all my work is done for the most part. Like we've done replays, we've gone over scrims, and I've given the input that I think is necessary, and then it's up to the players. So it's really, really difficult sometimes to kind of just sit back and watch as they play, and just, the results are the results they give us. I can't really influence it any other way.
Violet Panda, what are those nerves like for you?
I'm kind of used to it by now, but like when I started playing, it was insane. My hands were shaking. I remember my first match in Amsterdam. My hands were shaking after the first match. I couldn't even talk anymore. But yeah, over time you get used to it, and by now I'm like used to the nerves.
Trent, I'm kind of curious with you because you obviously have a little bit of a reputation here with Rocket League as a national champion. Did you feel any pressure, any nerves coming in this tournament? Like you felt like you kind of had to make a statement?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, obviously, I'm not on the level of Panda. Like, I've never been a pro, but like playing in the collegiate scene, and I've played on live events before, like in Arlington, Texas, in front of a couple thousand people. So obviously, those nerves are a lot more strenuous than the ones I will feel today. And so I'm used to it for the most part, is what I'm saying. I've played under large crowds before, so it's just another day in the office, really.
Just a couple of pros. I love it. Hey guys, make sure you stick around. We've got plenty more coming from our finalists and Dignitas. We'll be right back.
Vantage West Credit Union proudly stands with the communities we serve during these unprecedented and trying times. It's in these moments where strong communities thrive by working together. We will emerge more connected and more prosperous than ever before.
Times are uncertain, and many people's way of life has come to a standstill. At Chapman Volkswagen of Tucson, we understand. That's why we want to lend a helping hand with the community-driven promise. If you find yourself between jobs, flexible payment options may be available for current and new VW owners. If you're in need of a new vehicle, you can get 180 days deferment on payments. That's 6 months before your first payment will be due. We're also offering 0% APR for 72 months on most new VW models. And best of all, with our new online shopping option, you won't even have to leave the comfort and safety of your own home. Visit us at Chapman Volkswagen of Tucson or online at TucsonVW.com.
Back to game action in USL eCup Rocket League Edition, brought to you by HyperX. FC Tucson and Union Omaha matching up here in the final. Both teams out of USL League One. This tournament combining League One and the championship. Top bin, upper 90, 1-0 Tucson.
I have not said this the entire tournament when it comes to Trent Whelan, but I need an apology because that is that freaking good, Trent Whelan. 3 seconds? Are you kidding me?
Whelan, come on! Give him the goal!
You love to see it, Mike. You love to see it. We like to see it. We like to see it.
Devin, it's the variety of abilities to attack that has made Trent Whelan the far and away favorite in this tournament right from match day one.
Reminds me of our time spent together at the Vanderbilt Food Hall in New York City, Mike. Such a variety. What a smile it brings to my face. Spicy, sweet, never sure what direction you're going to go, but always a beautiful sight for sore eyes.
Mims overran it and able to get back, make the stop on the goal line. Whelan able to slow that down.
Watch out. Good tackle. Now watch Whelan survey this. He just sits back, waits, then explodes going the other way. Keeps the boost, knows right where the rest of them are located, and always willing to take a step back if need be, but wants to be on the front foot. All three of them.
Mims trying to pick out a time to challenge. Hits the 100 boost pad, essentially keeping it away from Whelan more than anything. Mims tries to go over the top, off the front bumper. Whelan. Net is empty here, waiting for the respawn. Mims from distance! He was desperate for some offense, and he's gotten it now.
I make a duda cha-cha. I make a duda cha-cha. Been a few rounds for the cha-cha, Mike. Our boy departed. However, Wesley Mims right back in it.
Mims, a junior at Christian Brothers High School in Memphis, Tennessee. Tennessee's all-time high school soccer superpower. His uncle, Jay, the head coach for Union Omaha. Mims on the move. Whelan again!
Mike, all the aspiring Rocket League players at home, this is where the good and the great start to separate themselves. Mims is good, gets himself to about 18 yards out. Need to take a couple more touches because Trent Whelan just sat back, then exploded the other way. Used the distance to his advantage.
How about a power shot? How about 4-1?
If you took every single goal that he scored from distance and put it together, I've done the math, Mike. It is the equivalent of combining the Golden Gate and Brooklyn Bridge 197,000 times. Think about that.
Sounds like the diameter of the planet. Gets up high, Mims able to effectively bat that down. Whelan won't miss from here.
Never thought I'd say it. I actually feel like the semifinal mashup with Josh Atencio and Trent Whelan was better at this point in time. Wesley Mims falling a bit short of our expectations, to be fair, Mike. Extremely talented, but at some point in time, he's got to stop being the sous chef.
Mims in real need. Oh! That is utter filth.
See? A couple more touches, get close. Whelan goes after the attack. You can do it!
But can he, though? Game 2 here.
Mike, unrelated, I made some really good homemade pickles yesterday, just so you know.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're really good. I tried one today. I'm going to let the rest sit for probably about a week.
Quarantine has been a culinary blessing for some people, not for others.
Oh, yeah. Good tackle.
Knocked off the top of Mims' car. Yeah, great tackle.
Here he goes. Watch this. Touch, hit it. Oh, that Mims is getting smarter. He's been reading books while driving a car. Don't advise it, but he knows how to do it.
Now the save there by Wesley Mims. And Mims will lob it downfield. And there to take over Tucson. He set up the counter there for Tucson. Wheeland up 6-2.
Tried to play off the side wall, Mike, and again, there's just legitimately no room for error whatsoever. You cannot make a single mistake because every single time that you do, it's compounded into 5, 6, or 7 opportunities for Trent Wheeland. But he only needs one. There can be only one. Got him. Ooh.
Stop by Mims, and now Mims trying to wait out. Wheeland smoked it out. 4-goal game here, final minute 15 of game 2 in this 7-game series. Wheeland contorting and scoring.
Literally. Look at him. Oh, he even jumped to the right to block off the thwarting attack from Wesley Mims. No apologies necessary, Mike. You're watching the best there ever is and ever will be in the USL eCup Rocket League Edition 2020. Spring.
At least the first time. Give another one to Tucson. Come on.
2 goals to equal that which he was able to perform in the first matchup. 10-2 on that one. Sitting at 8. Batman, no Robin. Wesley Mims, no Mickelson. Who'd have thunk it? There you go.
There's one for Omaha. Only 2 goals in game 1. It's a tighter affair in game 2.
Reminds me of being on the leash as a child, Mike. Your parents give you a little bit of rope, but they always pull you back in. Wesley Mims doing the same thing.
Devin, are you explaining your early childhood in Omaha, Nebraska?
Mike, I've got a leash on right now. I just don't like to talk about it, so I was talking about the childhood leash. Thank you for bringing it up.
Wheeland shot, no. Mims blown up. Can he get back in time? He can't.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Coming up during the break, more from Verge and Violent Panda of Dignitas, along with these 2 captains. That is terrific by Mims. Lifted away on a hope and a prayer.
Mike, I gotta ask. Well, you know what? I'll wait till the next match. Forget it. Not important. The next 10 seconds. Sort of, but not.
Save the thought step.
Yep.
Well, maybe
Don't
now
have many. Don't have many. Gotta be calculated with exactly what comes out of my mouth. You know, I'm very specific and want to make sure I'm always going with the best of the best.
3 seconds is an eternity to a player Trent Wheeland's caliber. Ball bounces wide. Wheeland able to grab some boost. Trying to keep that up. 10-2, 10-3. Over a dozen saves as well. Hear from the captains, Kelsey Steele, and the folks at Dignitas during the intermission.
There you go. Thank you. So where did you even start?
Nebraska Medicine.
Really?
He's home now. They implanted this tiny device where they can monitor his heart from anywhere.
I have some good news. Cancer's in remission. CAR T cells work.
Oh my God, amazing. They actually removed the clot that was causing Marie's stroke. She's doing great.
No matter what it is, without question, they are our go-to.
Your connection to the state's most comprehensive care. Nebraska Medicine.
Thanks for joining us for the USL eCup Rocket League Final. USL's Kelsey Steele here, joined by our 2 eCup finalists, Wesley Mims and Trent Wieland, and of course, 2 members of the #1 esports team in the world, Dignitas. Wesley, I'd like to get your opinion here when we talk about what it's like playing Rocket League in terms of 1v1 and 2v2 and 3v3. How much harder is it doing that 1v1 matchup rather than having, 1 or 2 other people on your side?
It's definitely a lot harder because I don't play like a ton of 1v1. I mainly play like 2v2 or 3v3 with friends. But like in 1v1, you can't really go all out for a shot because if you miss, then the other person just has like a wide open net and they can always score. So you have to be a lot more safe with your plays and tactics and stuff.
I'm curious, Violent Panda, what's your favorite to play? Are you more of a 3v3 guy, 2v2?
So it's different for tournaments and just casually playing. For tournaments, I definitely prefer 3v3 because, that's what we've always played since the start. But if I'm just playing ranked, just online, it's probably 2v2. It's my favorite.
Trent, do you feel like this tournament being 1v1 has really played to your advantage?
I mean, for the most part, mainly because most people just don't have the mechanical ability and like the time that they've put into the game. So I already kind of have a step ahead of everyone else. I personally have never really played ones either, though. So it's been a learning experience for me too, and just trying to be consistent. And like Wesley was saying before, it's up to you. Like if you mess up, then there's no one else to blame besides yourself and look back on stuff. So it's definitely a lot harder than, in my opinion, 3v3. Well, different types of hard, but yeah.
Yeah. It's something you're not as used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Verge, on the coaching side of things, what does your pregame routine look like? Because, obviously you're not playing. So what does that look like for you?
It's mostly just getting the players together and getting us all in the same call and kind of just getting us in the right mindset. I think it's really important that we kind of go into every series with the intentions of winning and excuse me, and feeling like we're going to win. So I just try to get our players in the right mindset and just tell them, we're the better team today and we're just going to go out there and we're going to perform our best. And whether we win or lose, performing your best is winning, So if we put our practice to work, then we can't lose.
Wait, but Ricky Bobby says if you're not first, you're last.
That's why we come first.
You're right.
I love that. Wesley, out of this whole tournament, what's been the most memorable experience for you playing Rocket League?
I don't know. This tournament is definitely like the biggest thing that I've done. So maybe just like seeing myself on ESPN for the first time, that was kind of crazy. It was like definitely a surreal experience.
Violent Panda, how about you? Most memorable Rocket League moment?
It's probably RLCS Season 5 was a tournament in London, and we barely won out that one, and the crowd wasn't insane in that tournament, so that's probably the highlight of my career.
Trent, is yours going to be the time that you became national champion?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, winning, I think Panda can confirm this for me. Winning in front of a live audience obviously is 1,000 times better than anything else.
Yes, it is. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I feel like athletes everywhere can probably attest to that.
Any competitive situation is a lot better when you have fans behind your back in live audience. It's just so much more real just to have everyone around you.
Absolutely. It just makes it that bigger of a deal. I love it.
Exactly.
All right, guys, stick around. We've got one more segment coming your way with our Dignitas guys and, of course, your 2 finalists.
Here you go. Thank you. So where did you even start?
Nebraska Medicine.
Really?
He's home now. They implanted this tiny device where they can monitor his heart from anywhere.
I have some good news. Cancer's in remission. CAR T cells work.
Oh my God, amazing. They actually removed the clot that was causing Marie's stroke. She's doing great.
No matter what it is, without question, they are our go-to.
Your connection to the state's most comprehensive care. Nebraska Medicine.
The USL eCup is brought to you by HyperX. Check out the new Cloud Alpha S Blackout Edition at hyperxgaming.com. Game 3 in this 7-game series, 10-2, 10-3. Tucson with significant margins in the first 2 games of the series, Devin. Feels like there's a long way for Mims to come back.
did a tracking, Michael, of exactly how much ground is covered during these matches. And if you want an idea of the distance, it is actually 67 kilometers per match. So it gives you an idea of being down 2-0. It just got further.
1-0 in game 3 to Tucson. It just continues.
There's a problem in the mess hall. Thank you very much.
Trent Wieland has won some national tournaments, been playing the game going back to 2016. He's Tucson's first ever esports signee.
Oh, watch him, Mike. Watch this. Plays off the wall, going vertical. Now he can cut it back in. He can use the wall to his advantage, or bring it down and play cat and mouse. I'll be the Tiger King.
That didn't confuse Wieland all that much. Sent back into the mixer by Wieland. Mims floats it knowing Wieland was into the attack. And Wieland smacks it from half field. Is there ever any question that that was going in?
And here's the funny thing, Mike. A minute and a half in, it was only 1-0. Sorry, a minute 28 seconds in, it was only 1-0. Let's get specific. And then just pokes his head out for a second to say hello. Half field, half arena, closed dome, open dome. It does not matter what your name is. 2-0.
Mims trying to get back. He's gone into his own goal. Now he provides the challenge. Mims has a long distance to recover. You get a piece of that, though. And here comes Wieland into the attack.
Play off the wall. There you go. Oh, he should have cut it back in, Mike.
Well, now he does. Waiting for the respawn. Calm and collected. Wieland sends that ringing high. Mims. Surely. Life again for Omaha.
The savior starting to pull out the salt and pepper, getting ready for the Last Supper. Remember, best of 7, so you got to win 4. But after losing the first 2, that means you're in trouble. Is that recipe correct, Mike?
That's the recipe we're watching get made right now. Wieland fires and scores.
Well, even worse, Mike, I actually just broke the top to my pen. So no longer will I be able to write down everything that you say. I'm going to have to start paying attention.
(3-1) halfway into game 3. That has become a trademark. A rare misstep by Trent Wieland. He's celebrating a bit too soon.
New driving shoes on, Mike. Said he had to stretch them a little bit. And when there's no rain or humidity, it's hard to do so. The problems we all deal with on the field of play. Coming true. USL eCup Rocket League Edition. Part 1. Spring 2020.
Oh, this is just rude.
Look at him. Drives through people with no regard. Honestly, Mike, my heart has gone elsewhere. The woman who lives in the other room, who thinks we're married, though I may have grown fond of her, we all knew it was never a match made in heaven. Whether or not the child is mine is a whole nother story. I've now decided that my heart belongs to one. Trent! You're amazing! Look at him fly! Wendy, I can fly! Never grow up, Trent. Never grow up. Don't get stuck in, son. Watch the pace here. Number 10-2, 10-3. Falling back a little bit here, Trent Whelan, but no real time has there ever been any worry. As Wesley Mims trying to find a way to get back into this match. Again, best of 7, down 2. Toying with the opposition at this point in time. Here's the counter again.
Mims sneaks back. Final minute here in game 3, Dev.
Oh, look at that challenge. Oh, who doesn't like a good game of hide and seek? Game 3, Mike. Here we go.
Oh!
Beautiful.
Mims collapses on that on the goal line. Wistful effort goes wide. Mims, not that time. Wheeland, bounding ball, knocked wide by Mims. Wheeland again. This beginning to look more and more like a clean sweep. That ball 3/4 of the way over the line. And there's one with 1 tick to go, Dev. This is Tucson planting their flag.
If you're only going to do it by 50%, you might as well be spot on. And he's not. He's over on goals. You know, mathematics don't always ring true in this game, Mike, and that's been proven the entire 64 games, or at least so far, and 63 and a half. Again, math off. Wow!
At their death! With 1 tick left to get this off.
Oh, Trent. All apologies, my friend. You are the king that will eventually wear the crown, and your throne awaits you.
7-1 after wins of 10-2 and 10-3 the first couple games. We might be crowning a champion in a moment, but first, more with Kelsey, the captains, and the folks from Dignitas.
I just wanted to spread a message to all to continue staying inside and help bend the curve. I wanted to thank all of the healthcare professionals and frontline providers for donating their time and risking their lives to keep our country and community safe. Although it seems like every day is a struggle, we will get through this and come out stronger with a new perspective. We're almost through this. Let's stay strong and positive and spread the love. See you out on the field soon.
Just want to encourage everybody to keep your spirits high during this tough time. Spread positive energy to your friends and family and loved ones all around. And also want to thank all the first responders, all the people in the medical field who are helping everybody deal with this virus.
Thanks for joining us for the USL eCup Rocket League Final. USL's Kelsey Steele here, joined by our 2 eCup finalists, Wesley Mims and Trent Wheeland, and of course, 2 members of the #1 esports team in the world, Dignitas. All right, Verge, I've got to know, if there is anything that you could add to the Rocket League gameplay, what would it be?
Like, are we talking changing the game, like itself, like the gameplay, or like stuff about the game, like, you know, resources or stuff?
Like the actual game, the gameplay, yeah.
If there's one thing I could change about the gameplay, I think maybe the only thing that I think could make Rocket League potentially more interesting is playing maybe a 4v4 on a larger map. I think that might make things a lot more strategic, make it a much more reliant on the team aspect of the game, because right now in a smaller map 3v3 environment, sometimes one player can be the difference. Excuse me, one player could like just pop off and carry a team, but if you threw in the extra player and put a bigger field in, there'd definitely be a lot more strategy involved, and you'd have to be more of a team to win.
Trent, you're shaking your head. Sounds like you agree.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been one of those people that's wanted to see 4v4 or 5v5 in Rocket League, just because it would make it more similar to actual soccer, where people would not be able just to hit the ball as hard as you could and just dribble, look for your team, and it makes you think, or it would make you think a lot more about what you're doing instead of just brain dead ball chasing across the field.
Brings a little bit more of the technical side of it into things, right?
Okay. Exactly.
Violent Panda, I'm curious, what's the best way to practice playing at the pace that you do without making any mistakes?
Oh, it's all about consistency. There's not really a tactic I use to practice. It's more so you have to really focus on what you're doing. If you notice you're doing something wrong yourself, you should focus on that thing and play or practice that certain thing like the whole week, and try to improve every small aspect of your play style. And yeah, just in general, play as much as you can.
Wesley, if you had somebody DM you tomorrow and say, you know, they've been so impressed with you, your representation of Omaha during this tournament, now they want to get into Rocket League, what are some of the quick tips you tell them that they got to know right off the bat?
Kind of like what Panda said, it's all about consistency. So you just want to like keep playing until you kind of get like everything down where you can kind of do it without even thinking. So a lot of the mechanics, I like don't even realize that I do it. My fingers just kind of like do the motions. So just play it enough until you can do it without thinking, I guess.
Verge, any advice for you? You're the one dishing it out all the time.
Don't stop playing. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Like most people pick Rocket League up and after a couple hours are like, oh man, I'm not good yet. Like this game is boring. It gets more fun the better you get. And it's one of those games that you have to stick with to get better. So if you're looking to get into Rocket League, be prepared to invest like 2 or 3 years of your life into it before you start really picking the game up.
All of us have been bad in the start, so it's all about practice and keep playing.
I even remember back in the day, like the most fun I've had in this game was when it was just me and my buddies when we were awful, just trying to hit the ball. Couldn't hit the ball. Keyword was trying to hit the ball. Like those were some of the best times, just when you were playing to have fun, and then as time goes on, you'll get better and you see a whole different side of the game that you didn't think was possible.
I love it, guys. I think that's a great note to end on. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy during this time. And again, I just appreciate you stepping in, giving us your insight.
Likewise. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Dig, guys. It's cool.
USL eCup Rocket League Edition's inaugural campaign, brought to you by HyperX. And it's been more of the same, Devin, for FC Tucson. You can sum up this entire tournament with a lot to a little. How about Mims knocking that wide? Trying to eat into that goal difference. Wheeland able to nudge it over the line. Devin, what's the goal difference now?
Oh, we're at plus 210, Mike, and that's all I wanted for my birthday. Speaking to you off camera, as we have the entire tournament, I have witnessed the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I even saw Michelangelo paint the 19th chapel. Heck, I even saw 2 dogs spin a wheel of butter and ice cream at the same time. But I have never seen a plus 200 goal differential. Now I can die a happy man.
Mims was never going to get that over the line. Couple early saves here from Tucson. Avoid any early trouble. Yep, Mims
Respawn.
back in his own end, though.
That's what we should have been doing the entire time. Little gesture. Respawn. Wait for it. There you go. Ooh, well done, Mims.
Mims goes out to challenge. Tucson plays it wide. Omaha trailing again. At no point in this final have they led. Oh, that is really going to make for an angry FC Tucson from here.
Do not piss him off. I've told you that is a bad idea. Even when you tie it at ones with 3.5 left, Mike, this is the go-to game. But you do not piss off the champion. So many matches before we've seen it, and the result's the same. You end up at the bottom of the barrel of yogurt.
Vantage West stands with the communities we serve during these unprecedented and trying times. Together, we will emerge more prosperous and connected than ever. Vantage West Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Here's something that feels assured, insured. FC Tucson on their way to the title if they can win this game.
I wonder who Alfred is for Trent Whelan. Is that someone in the front office? Is it someone in their affiliate, Phoenix Rising? Is it a parent figure? Is it a block of cheese that gives them hope every day? We need to know this, Mike.
Oh, he doesn't need the butler. He does it all on his own. 3-1 Tucson. Mims, that may have been going off target regardless.
Oh, there you go. Got to cut this back off the wall. Nope. That's the window of opportunity that closes so quickly, Mike.
Mims places this right in the penalty area, knocks it the other way. These have been the moments, the goals have flowed for Mims. Overextended Tucson can't get back in time. We're back to a 1-goal deficit.
Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. The key to life, the key to victory, and the key to Rocket League. I didn't write the rules, Mike. I'm just reciting them.
Those are the written rules as opposed to Rocket League's numerous unwritten rules, many of which aren't really very useful in 1v1. He waited that out perfectly. That is a terrific experience-laden goal.
One of the rules, Mike, as a champion to wear the crown is that you have to spend a minimum of 61.729% in the air. Trent Whelan trying to get above that statistic.
Mims looking to recover, gets a save there. Whelan nursing this all the way to the goal mouth.
It's not a nurse, Mike. It's an assisted living facility. You can do what you want under certain times, and Trent Whelan is given carte blanche.
The Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona has seen demand for food double since the coronavirus has spread. The Community Food Bank is now serving people with drive-through food distribution so as to minimize contact and follow the advice of health experts. Do your part for the community. Consider getting involved with the Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona, proud partner of FC Tucson. Hey, Mims scored! Mims handling that so far pretty well. There's Whelan. Dev, as this tournament is in its final match. Whether it's been the Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona or the Omaha Foundation, the various other charities these teams have played for, that's been a really special part as Planting Cargo 85 continues his march at this point toward the crown.
We like to joke, Mike. We like to have fun, but in all seriousness, let's try and use this as an opportunity to remain positive and push ourselves to greater things. It starts with the charity, but think about everything in general, you know, the kind gesture, the wave, and the fact that they were able to raise money and do all of this for so many great causes around the country. It really is a humbling opportunity to be involved with it, and for that, I thank everybody.
5 saves and 7 goals. Offense and defense from Tucson.
Mike, honest question. If you were an omelet, what kind of omelet would you be? Quick go.
Texas omelet?
Wrong. The correct answer is Western, but it's close. We'll give you a B-.
Wheeland trying for that patented double tap off the back wall. Mims casts himself a lifeline in the final minute now.
He's getting there. Mims, much like the snow geese that migrate in and out of Omaha year to year. They're beautiful black and white beauties, finding himself in and out of these matches. 7-4 is the closest we've seen the proximity so far in terms of scoreline.
Thought he had
It'll
another
take a lot
one
more to
there.
get him back into it, though, Mike.
Yeah, that could have been some real confidence-boosting stuff late on. Wheeland, and this month-long game of bat and mouse appears to be over. FC Tucson at this point just waiting to take their crown. John Perlman, the director of soccer ops for FC Tucson, when he signed Trent Wheeland to the club as the first esports athlete in club history, and somehow that stayed out. Then wiped off the ground in, said we brought in a champion to bring us a championship, and they are on the verge of making that happen.
The entire organization, from front office, coaching staff, players. You've seen that, Mike, that everybody is willing to put in the time and effort, and they believe in the product at hand, no matter if it's on the actual field with all the players in the USL Championship, and then moving into, of course, FC Tucson and League One, then into E-League. I mean, everything these clubs are doing, beyond impressive. Trent Wheeland, though, is on a whole nother level. This guy just makes up his rules as he goes along. Nice to see Mims, though, get a bit of salvation at the tail end of things. Hold his head high. It's a quality effort. But sometimes you cannot compete when royalty is on the other side of the field, wearing this type of robe, crown, scepter, ruby slippers, and of course, the crown jewels.
Mims scores 157 goals in this tournament, but it pales in comparison. FC Tucson staying off the inevitable, lifted up by Mims. No one wants this thing to end yet. The celebration is on in Tucson.
Oh my. No, he didn't.
FC Tucson sweeps Union Omaha to win the first ever USL eCup. FC Tucson dominant tip to tail. We've got highlights from this final after this.
Vantage West Credit Union proudly stands with the communities we serve during these unprecedented and trying times. It's in these moments where strong communities thrive by working together. We will emerge more connected and more prosperous than ever before.
Times are uncertain, and many people's way of life has come to a standstill. At Chapman Volkswagen of Tucson, we understand. That's why we want to lend a helping hand with the community-driven promise. If you find yourself between jobs, flexible payment options may be available for current and new VW owners. If you're in need of a new vehicle, you can get 180 days deferment on payments. That's 6 months before your first payment will be due. We're also offering 0% APR for 72 months on most new VW models. And best of all, with our new online shopping option, you won't even have to leave the comfort and safety of your own home. Visit us at Chapman Volkswagen of Tucson or online at TucsonVW.com.
Vantage West Credit Union proudly stands with the communities we serve during these unprecedented and trying times. It's in these moments where strong communities thrive by working together. We will emerge more connected and more prosperous than ever before.
Here are your highlights from the final of the inaugural USL eCup Rocket League Edition, brought to you by HyperX. It's going to be a lot of Trent Wheeland. Wesley Mims at times looked like he was up to the task, Devin, but planting Cargo 85 is your champion.
Straight 4, huh? Mike, think about that. And the entire tournament, best of 3, best of 5, and of course the final, which was best of 7. We didn't see a single matchup extended to the brink of games. Are you shocked? You shouldn't be. The reason being, this man right here, Trent Whelan, planning Cargo 85 the entire time. He had an idea, a vision, and oh, by the way, the savior himself, Wesley Mims, could not stop him. Trent Whelan was a collegiate champion for a reason, but now, USL eCup Rocket League Edition champion. He's going to need more than that banner hanging out of his collegiate dorm room to get things done. He's going to graduate, take this to his home, and tell his kids about this story one day, because his expertise from start to finish was nothing short of spectacular.
It's a clean sweep, Devin, in the final. This was fun.
Union, Omaha. Couldn't call enough audibles to get themselves in through it, but I'll tell you what an amazing feat. Hats off to everybody for a good cause, for a great cause, and we had a lot of fun. We hope you did too.
For producer Sharni Yerke, Devin Kerr, Kelsey Steele, Verge and Violent Panda Dignitas, our team at USL, Lizzie Seedhouse, Matt Fisher, Sam Schuler, and our partners at Kiswe, and our executive producer Mike Friedman. Mike Watts saying thank you and good night.